was it David Koresh? The tanks and everything.
Waco?
Yeah.
We are live. I didn't hear my feet as I walked.
Okay.
Okey dokey. We will call the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for April 11th to order. Roll call, please.
David,
Here.
Bill,
Here.
Joyce,
Here.
Becky, Rob,
Here.
Andy.
Here.
Okay, can we have a motion to excuse Becky for today?
Give you that.
I'll second.
Roll call.
That was Andy first, David? Okay, David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
and Andy.
Yes.
Perfect. David, would you like to lead us in a prayer, please?
Lord, thank you for the things you're doing. Lord, remember the Gossard family tonight. Officer Jim Gossard served our village, Lord, for 28 years. Very loyal to our village, Lord, and remember him in your kingdom tonight. And Lord, be with the council and the mayor as we make decisions, Lord, and give us the wisdom to do this. And Lord, touch our nation tonight with your blessing hand. In your wonderful, wonderful name, amen.
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 To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to receive a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the council meeting held on March 28th.
I'll give you the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Bill and Rob.
Bill and Rob,
Roll call?
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Okay, takes us to mayor's report. I really don't have a whole lot this evening. It's good to see that our committees are starting to get all geared up finally. Well, we had a little sluggish start, but hey, we're rebounding in good fashion, I think, so it's good to see, and we appreciate all the hard work. Would like to wish 2 happy birthdays of people that are having birthdays before our next meeting, and that would be Courtney this Friday. So send her, flowers and,
Your birthday is on tax day.
It is. And I will be the big.
How appropriate.
Oh,
IRS Day.
Oh, that is awesome.
I didn't have that piece of information.
I should never.
Thank you.
Oh,
And David will have his birthday on the 19th of.
39 and holding.
Okay, there you go.
bonus
There you
years.
go.
Yeah.
Very good. All right.
Don't need a
so
good laugh.
We'll go on to our President Pro Tem report. Andy?
I'm going to hold my comments until committee. Thank you, though.
Okay, very good. No public comment or visitors. We'll have no executive session. So we'll jump right down to the sheriff's report.
Okay, you have the nature's report in front of you. If nobody has any questions on that, or should I say, if anybody has any questions on that?
No questions, but a comment. It's good to see that there's been more traffic stops.
Yeah,
The
that's,
past couple months, I know there hasn't been too many, but we've still had a lot of people tearing through here like it's their own personal racetrack. So seeing 7 stops is very nice to see on the report.
you'll see that number increase. I mean, it's usually with the weather, so it,
And with Deer Creek
And
starting to
Deer-
fill up.
yeah.
Any comments on the suspicious persons? Anything that stands out that you want to share about those, or?
The suspicious persons, like today,
Oh,
Oh, we had some today?
okay.
we had a transient come through town, stopped at Joyce's front door and was needing to speak to a minister. He's homeless. He's from Bowling Green, Kentucky, lives in Florida in the winter, moves up here in the summer, and he was needing food and a place to stay, so one of our local churches took care of that, and then I took care of his ride to the motel. So if anybody saw somebody walking with a great big bag today, he was a nice guy, but You never can take chances. It's always best to call.
That's right.
Hey, Jack, on the animal complaint, was them, the three of them, was them dog bites or just loose animals? Or-
It's usually, loose animals. If it's a dog bite, it will say on here, dog
Okay.
bite.
Okay.
So I have one other question, and this is just kind of crazy, but the 911 hang up. Now, I know for a fact that I have accidentally dialed 911 several times, and you look at it before they answer, and you go, oh crap, and you hang up. Is that the right thing to do, or should you stay on the line and tell him, I didn't really mean to do that?
Stay on the line.
Okay.
But
say
this,
yeah.
this one here, this landline, does everybody know what a landline is? I thought I'd
We
tell
don't
you.
have one, but yeah.
Yeah. We've got quite a few of them, actually, but it's Nutrien back here on Chestnut Street. It's an old phone number, so I don't know how this number keeps coming up. So they're supposed to be getting with CenturyLink, get that taken care of, but we still get them, so. But that's what that is.
Okay, very good. Anybody have anything else for Jack?
Just the abandoned vehicle, private property, is that anything that's been,
The community center, it's been addressed,
okay,
yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
the concrete pad by the fish stand, that's owned by the community center. Yeah, those vehicles, there was two of them there, they've been addressed.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
you got a flyer there for the drug take-back day. That's been changed by the DEA. It is now April 30th instead of the 23rd. The times are the same, the locations are the same.
That's what it says, April 30th.
Yeah, but we just put the new flyer out, so. I think the sheriff or Doug contacted you or somebody,
Yeah, we got that information, I think, a week or
like the
so
day
ago.
after
Ye-
council.
You're right, yes, yes.
Found it anyway. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, and then one more thing, Dave touched on it. Chief Jim Gossard served Mount Sterling up until 1989 when he retired. He was a well-liked, well-loved police chief, and you'll hear people refer to him as Barney. If you ever saw him in his uniform, you would have said, that's Barney. Great guy, super person, always came to Ben and Joy's every single day for lunch. Every day, for I don't know how many years.
Very loyal to the village, I'll tell
Right.
you that.
And he was also a volunteer fireman with the village too.
Oh, wow. At the same time, or?
I don't know if it was prior to him becoming the chief, but I know he was a volunteer fireman for, I'm wanting to say more than 5 years.
Wow.
Then he fought in the Korean War on top of that, so he was in the American
He
Legion.
was just an
too.
What a
outstanding
dedicated
individual.
individual.
He was absolutely outstanding individual, outstanding Mount Sterling, public official.
Thank you.
We need more people like that, don't we?
Yep, and the sheriff's office is gonna recognize him at the funeral. We're gonna have units down here to.
When is that, by the way?
The funeral is Wednesday.
Okay.
Viewing is tomorrow from 1 to 3.
All right. Send our condolences, if you would, please.
I sure will.
All right, thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
Law Director report, I have nothing from our attorney, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Utilities, we get her the second meeting of the month. Zoning, anything from Tom? No? Jumps to you.
I always have a report. right?
Yeah, fiscal officer report.
Okay, so I just want to let everybody know, if you haven't seen it already circulated on Facebook, the fish fry that's happening, starting in April, through September. It's gonna be on the last Thursday and Friday of each month. And that will be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Veterans Field. I probably should have done that in roundtable, but. So, I don't have, anything. I'm sure most of the committees will be reporting what we spoke about, during our committees meetings that we held Wednesday. As far as the financials, I didn't receive any comments or concerns or questions thus far, from council. A reminder, tomorrow at 10 a.m., we will have our Financial Commission Committee meeting here at Town Hall in person. We will be recording that as well. So be looking for that if you'd like to see and hear what the meeting's about. Again, 10 a.m. here in Town Hall. Minutes, of course, are taken. So as far as what you have in front of you, everybody has the month of March reports in front of you. You will also be, I will be circulating the bank reconciliation statement. Again, the only outstanding adjustment that you'll see on here is a check return from our water department. Okay, so everything's been balanced. Of course, this will be what is going to be spoken about during our commission committee meeting tomorrow. They always look at the previous months and months, you know, with the auditors will speak with me about that. So if I don't have any questions,
Hey, Courtney, is this the first time they've been meeting in person since the whole thing
this will
going
be
on?
the second time.
I was wondering how long
Yes.
it's been.
Yeah, the last time we had was in what, October or December or something like that?
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I wrote minutes
It's
for
been a
October.
while, that's why I
Yeah.
no.
Yep, so this will be the second time in person since COVID. Yep. Okay, so if there are no objections, I have a motion to ask for the approval of the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing, the comparison of budget and appropriated, the cash summary by fund, one RETA report, and the bank reconciliation for the month of March of 2022.
You have that motion?
Second.
Joyce, second.
Okay, David was first, Joyce was second.
Roll call?
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Okay, so I will have circulated here 3 pieces of documents for you guys to sign, if you may, beside your name. And that's all that I have on my report.
Okey-doke. That takes us to finance. Andy?
I have a couple of comments to back that up, and the first thing I'd like to say is that we had a Finance Committee meeting on April 6th. It was a very, very, very good, very constructive meeting. The short of the long of it is that appropriations are lower than what we expected they would be, so that's good. So spending is lower. Revenues are a little bit higher, so that's also good. Obviously, as the weather breaks, we're going to start spending money on things throughout the village. So we'll be talking about what those are across all of our committees here in just a moment. So I expect a lot of this to start changing over time. The second thing that I would like to mention is Courtney was kind enough to give us an update on all of the outstanding grant applications for the village. And as you have heard me say on a lot of occasions, we're going to keep applying for grants until they basically tell us to go away. And you win some, you lose some, right? And so we unfortunately did not get a community block grant this time because we obviously have a water line project going down London Street right now, which is funded partially by community block dollars. And we will not be able to apply for another one until that project is completed. And the unfortunate part, of course, is that project is almost done, and the window for the block grant is like 3 weeks from now. So we're like this close. So we're not going to get that one. But thanks to Courtney's hard work, and I really want to call out the amount of effort that she has spent on this, we were able to land a very sizable funding commitment from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for our water tower. So the water tower, yeah, so that actually does, actually, we do need a round of applause for that because it was not an open and shut thing. You just don't show up and, you know, the Army Corps was kind enough to fund 75%. So that is a good thing. That is not chump change for a project that's going to cost $1.4 million. Now, the problem, of course, is we need funding commitment for the remainder, and we'll be going back and talking with this council and anybody else we need to about how we're going to close that gap. I'm excited that we're going to be using matching money that we've already held aside. So we've been very thoughtful about how we've spent money over the last 18 months and have saved some for matching funds for that. So our delta, please, it's about 250 grand, maybe a little more, a little less, about 287. Okay. And so we will figure out ways to do that. And this is not a victory lap. We have a ways to go. This thing is not built yet, but my point that I'm trying to make is you can start to see things rolling. And that is very, very exciting, and it reflects well on the village, and others are seeing that our commitment to not only managing money appropriately, but also we can do infrastructure projects here.
Well, Andy,
We can do
action's
them.
underway, that's the main thing.
It is,
buddy.
it is.
Yeah.
Outside fundings of, this size do not happen every day, and it's a lot of wrangling and cajoling and arm twisting and everything that goes into getting something like that. So thank you again for all the hard work, Courtney, and stay tuned for a lot more. We're not done yet, and I suspect you'll hear more news on grants as we go forward. With that said, our next finance meeting will be May 4th at 3:30, if I'm correct.
May the fourth be
Also,
with you.
council, you will need, at some point, one item before I leave the building on finance issues. We are done, effectively, almost done with the capital improvement plan, which is required by the state. Finance has already reviewed again, after getting all of our community partner input, as well as any resident input who've already approached me, so that's cool. And it will be going back to you all for final stamp of approval. This has to go to the state. It will eventually go to the oversight board. It will not be there, obviously, at tomorrow's discussion, but it will be going to the oversight board. So this is a core part of our commitment to invest in infrastructure over the next 5 years, and is a prioritization of what we need to get done. So if you have thoughts, now's the time. Get them to me. Let me know what you think. We'll move them around. Other than that, we'll see you on May 4th at 3:30. Thank you.
Pleasant Township, David.
Oh, on the Pleasant Township, they made a motion to pay the bills. The good news is, they're gonna get their new tractor and mower. They got the money to get that, so, for the mowing season, so they was all tickled, so they're gonna be ordering the tractor and mower and hope to have it in time for the mow. And also, they talked about maybe down the road, a little bit of grading on some of the back roads later on the summer, and, basically that was it. But the good news is, we're gonna get a new tractor and mower.
All right, squad, Rob.
Nothing new to report as of this meeting. We'll be meeting this Wednesday. We're actually gonna be meeting a little bit earlier because we have a insurance representative coming in. Not sure what that's gonna entail, but we'll update next meeting.
Okay. And any update, I suppose it was Squad In Fire that they were looking for help?
Both are. I mean, they're
Still?
both short-staffed.
Okay.
Especially the squad. And then, with Janie retiring, that kinda left us even shorter, given
Okay.
her experience and years with the community.
All righty. Thank you. Fire, Bill.
Their new SCBA's are online now, they're in use. They got a estimate for station modifications. They want to put sleeping area and bathrooms in, and that was like minimum $50,000 is going to go up from there. So they're trying to figure out how to cover that. When I was there last week, they swore in 2 new lieutenants. We had 2 openings, and they pinned the badges, and we had a ceremony, cake and ice cream and all the good stuff later on. And the new classifications and pay ranges for the firefighters went into effect on April 10th. And they recommended hiring a new one of the level B employees, a firefighter. And the next meeting is April 28th.
Okay, thank you. Water, wastewater, Becky is not here. Is there some, do you want to report on it?
Yeah, she has sent me a notice here. So, Andy pretty much said everything that was announced at both committee meetings, about the, grant. And, that's what she had stated in there, and that, the plants are working well. And of course, you'll see, like Andy also reported, is some expenditures on chemicals and some repairs and replacements, of certain pumps and things like that. And we'll be talking about the sludge, the acceptance of sludge down at our, wastewater plant. And that's it.
Okay. Streets, Andy?
Let's see, we had a meeting on April 6th also. We took a look at the pothole situation. We've heard obviously loud and clear, and we all got to drive on these things too. So we have a commitment from a contractor as well as our own staff to start attacking potholes. The only thing I will say about potholes is that we need a little bit of clear weather when it's dry. You can't fill a pothole when there's 6 inches of water in it. And that's a kind of a big problem on London Street, among many other places, because it's been raining, quite a bit recently, and all that it does is essentially get underneath the pavement and pop it off. So that's a problem, and we're gonna try to get those under control literally as soon as we can. We are on the list for the contractor to get those done. If we can patch them sooner with our folks, we're going to do it. So we're not gonna just wait. We will get out. We have a load of grindings which we bought, and they're coming in. So those potholes that, generally speaking, are smaller than a dinner plate, or that we can patch with surface, we are committed to doing that. So we will get out there literally as soon as I can get dry weather in order to get that taken care of. After that, let's see, we're also doing a street study. We've gotten engineering engaged to actually take a look and help us prioritize about which streets need to be tackled. So if we do get other grant money, or if we decide to free up appropriations for whatever reason, we'll start taking streets apart too. So that's next on the list. And then finally, we talked a little bit about marking and changing some of the marking, particularly downtown, for parking. So the people, when they come into the village, or residents can park, and they'll know exactly where the parking spots are. They're currently not marked that well today, so we probably need to take a look at that. And that is that, and our next meeting is May 4th at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, so we've had a request to remove the stop signs on Timmons Way.
Well, it's not on Timmons Way, it's the alley behind that.
The
So
alley,
Right.
okay.
I did a little bit of research, there's not an alley name on the back of that, just so everybody's clear. So it's the alley behind the EMS, in Larry's, that alley that you pass through that butts up against the church, and that it comes off of High Street. And, there are a few stop signs back there. We met with the street department. Jack was making sure that traffic would flow. So the remaining stop sign will be when you come off of High Street. So when you're coming off of High Street into that back alley beside the church, behind the church, you can still go, right or left, but that stop sign will remain. So everything that goes, it's not a one-way, so
Right.
there's options to come in both sides, both from Main Street and Columbus Street. It's just the stop sign that's sort of aggravating, and there probably was a purpose at one time.
It
but-
used to be a four-way right there.
Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah, So, cause, the Deacon Way, or the Deacon little alley right there beside the EMS and the Mad Hatter, so, we would just need to have a motion, from council to remove that stop sign that, I hate to say, I don't have a name for the alley, but it's right behind the EMS, and the Mad Hatter, so, that would be what the motion is.
I'll give you that motion.
And I'll second that.
So
Councilor
that's
Mandy?
Rob and Andy.
Is there any other discussion about it? Okay, roll call, please.
Joyce,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes.
Okay, motion's passed.
Okay. That takes us to Parks and Rec. Did she give you some information as
She
well?
did, yes. So, again, you guys will be having a motion here to allow looks like a Madison Plains softball tournament. So thus far, we will be having a tournament, we're gonna be asking for a tournament on April the 30th. And this would be a motion to allow Madison Plains softball to have a tournament occurring at Mason Park on April the 30th.
I'll give you that motion.
I'll second.
Rob and Bill?
Has that been cleared with Youth League, do you know? Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
All right.
So we would just need a roll call for this.
Yep.
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
and Joyce.
Yes.
Also, Becky would like for me to report that on May the 1st, that will be opening day for the Youth League. So that also will be with Parks and Rec. So, they have great events out there, I hear, scheduled, so,
Throughout the first pitch then.
yep, throughout the first pitch, a flag raising ceremony.
We have a singer coming in with the national anthem. It's going to be a great
Yeah,
day.
So it's gonna be nice out there.
That's always good. Summer's on the way when,
Yep.
that's the key thing.
And that's all that she has to report for Parks and Rec, but you guys also, she put on here the movie. You guys chose your movies.
Yes, we did.
Yep, so be looking forward to flyers and things like that.
Also, we did get information that the daycare center has their graduation out at the park. it's just the cutest thing ever. So if anybody wants to come and watch it, it's pretty amazing. And it'll be the 13th of May at 6 o'clock. So it's just will make your day, so.
Be there last year for my youngest. It was really cute.
They had the bikes and they decorated their bikes and stuff.
Okay, records of retention, Andy.
We met on April the 1st, went through more boxes as usual, so keeping some per our records retention schedule, purging some, giving some to the Historical Society, and we wash, rinse, repeat. Eventually, we'll clean this place out.
Wonderful. All right. Can you start on my office after that?
No.
Almost messed up.
Almost.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Hey, Andy, has there been a few things have been historical, though, you run into?
Oh, things that are historical, not so much. A lot of that stuff has already been turned over to the Historical Society, who owns it. Others are just interesting. So plans, maps, all kinds of files on, things from virtually all periods in time. 2 years ago to 25 years ago. I mean, so we pop open a box and you never know what's gonna. Bob will be down there and I found something. It is fun. It's like archaeology.
Yeah, you know how I am about history.
Oh, yeah,
This one
yeah.
might be something
Very good. Nuisance abatement, Joyce.
Thank you. Our committee met also on April the 6th, and, excuse me, for the most part, we went through the expectations for community cleanup. And Rob and Bill have graciously volunteered their time and their vehicles and crew, I believe, to come meet here at the village. We're gonna meet at 9 o'clock, and we're gonna begin the process of cleaning up some things here in the town for people. I don't know if we have an update. Has anyone called in to get, not yet?
I have one. I had one
Okay.
pickup.
Okay, so I think next week, that'll start happening. We have flyers that we're gonna be posting out around town. And, if you need Courtney to make you some more, I think I gave everyone a flyer. These will be, excuse me, dropped off at the churches and the local businesses and put out here in the, town hall, foyer, and we'll make sure that we get the word out as soon as possible, as much as possible. And I know Rob's mentioned a few times about putting it on social media. So since I have this already, I'll go ahead and put it out there, and you can share it, if that's okay with you, and you guys can take off with that. I'm not one much for commenting, but I certainly will put it out there, letting the community know and the village know that we're there for them, and we encourage anyone who has, this is not, when we say trash pickup, this does not mean that you don't have to pay your trash bill and you can set everything out. You can set out 20 bags, that's not gonna work. We don't have the manpower to do that, but if you have some, 2 or 3 bags, I would think, would be appropriate of things that you would like to get rid of, we'll be glad to pick those up for you. Trimming trees, if you have furniture, we are not going to enter your homes, but we do ask anything that you have inside your home that you would like to have removed, get it out to your porch or your lawn, and we'll be more than glad to pick that up. We're gonna be doing this on Saturday, the 30th, and Sunday, the Nazarene Church. We're partnering with them, and they are going to be going around on Sunday. So we're gonna be doing some flower planting and some tree trimming and some shrub trimming, and we're gonna just beautify our little village. And it's usually a fun weekend. The ones in the past that I've been a part of, we make it fun. So it's not all work. So, but going back to the meeting, Rob presented some ideas in regards to some ways that we might be able to recommend for some of the village residents that have boats and campers. We're going to be discussing that further. We're going to be checking around to some other municipalities and, seeing what we can do to help people. within the village regarding things in their yard. So, that being said, I don't have a whole lot, because like I say, most of the meeting was geared towards the community cleanup. I appreciate everyone who came out for the meeting, and our next meeting will be May, I believe, 3rd. I did not write it down. 4th, thank you. May the 4th be with you. I remember that. Yes, May 4th at 6 o'clock. And I encourage anyone who has an issue with anything within the village, give Courtney a call here at Town Hall. Speaking of Courtney, I also want to give a big shout out to her in regards to some of the tags that Officer Dill has been kind enough to put out there for us on things that are in violation of our ordinances. And I would like to express my thanks to both of them and the fact that we are getting some things taken care of, and we appreciate your efforts very much. It takes a village. So thank you.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you mentioned that to put the things out on your curb. Make sure you report those too, because even though it's out there, we just want
Oh,
to make sure
I'm
that
sorry,
we're not
yes.
picking up, your child's bike, or something that you don't want us to throw away, so.
No tires too, right?
Right.
Right. No tires, no paint,
Chemicals.
no chemicals, no appliances.
Concrete.
None of that, no concrete. Those things cannot go in the dumpsters, and we will not pick those things up. Thank you, Courtney. What we will do is when you register by calling Town Hall, the phone number is on the flyer. The phone number is published on
On a banner
Facebook,
outside.
on a banner outside that was kindly donated. So those, and there's also a website that the Nazarene Church has created for us, and that website is www.gomountsterling.com. Can't get much simpler than that. But you can also sign up there if you need us to come by and pick something up. So don't be shy. Call Town Hall with any questions, and Courtney will be glad to answer them, or she can pass you off to me, whatever, but we'll get you taken care of. It takes a village, and we're adamant that we want to help you. So thank you, Courtney, for reminding me of that.
Okay, thank you. Safety Block Watch, Bill?
Yeah, we got together on April 5th. Had a nice meeting. Everybody, all the members introduced themselves, and we had a good going back and forth. We didn't have no shortage of ideas. We had a lot of ideas, a lot of good conversation. Looking forward to getting the 3 citizens that's on the committee approved. That would be Philip Allard McPhillips, and David Tilley needs to be voted on so we could officially put them on the committee so we could have an official meeting.
So, that was supposed to be up there then, right, for safety?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Our next meeting, I don't know why I did not write down the time. I checked with those guys. It's either going to be May 3rd or May 10th at 7 p.m.
May 3rd, the
May
first
3rd?
Tuesday.
Okay, first Tuesday. That's why I wrote that down here when I looked. Yeah,
Okay,
seven.
so do we have a motion to
give you that
approve
motion.
those members? Okay,
I'll second.
Okay, so, just to be clear on the members again, that, Mr. Tilley said, that would be Mick Phillips, David Tilley, and Philip Allred.
Allard,
Allard.
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 Yep. And we have Rob as first, David as second.
Yep, roll call?
Rob,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
and Joyce.
I will abstain.
Okay,
Still enough votes.
very good.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for? All right, thank you. Planning and zoning, Andy?
Yeah, we met April 6th, 6 PM, and we had an opportunity to run through sort of current state of affairs as it relates to the new building, which is going on in the village, so very excited about that. We have about, I believe, 26 or 27 home sites in the expansion of Wingate that are completed, or at least are under construction, and of course, permitting process goes through the village. So that's always very important, because each one of those, there's a little fee that goes back to specific earmarks for parks and other things like that. So that's very exciting. We talked a little bit about how contractors were registering with the village, similar to what is done in every other village around here. And we wanted to understand the current state of factory-built modular housing in the village. There is a uniform standard around that, so that's cool. And we're going to probably look at that a little bit more to make sure that it is abundantly clear, because we've gone through and seen some things that are kind of murky and ambiguous. So we're always trying to nail that down. Our next meeting will be April the 19th, if I have it right. So we will be meeting next week, right? We're pretty sure?
Yeah, we may be changing
Maybe
that, so be on the
the,
lookout. for-
okay, all right. So check the website if you're interested in attending that meeting.
Okay, thank you. So that takes us to ordinances and resolutions.
Okay, and again, this is gonna be placed on a third reading. It is a resolution 2022-02, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a renewal of the village's property and liability insurance, placed on the third reading.
Is there a motion?
I'll give you that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Robin, Bill? Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Okay, now we need a motion to adopt resolution 2022-02.
You have that motion?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
David, Joyce?
Yes. Roll
Okay,
call? Yeah.
David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
And Andy?
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2022-02 is passed.
All right, that takes us to roundtable.
Oh, and roundtable, I want to thank the Nazarene Children's Department and the Community Center. Either rain, snow, or sleet keeps kids looking for Easter eggs, I'll tell you that. They had a good time, a lot of children there. And they, when they lined up there, it was just like a charge. They was ready, and they had inside, they collared eggs, they had all kinds of things. It just made you feel good, made you feel like spring. And also, I want to bring this up. I got that birthday coming up, and I get thinking about all the years I've been in this village, and I think one of the proudest moments I ever had, I heard you mention Timmons Way, when I honored my father and his brother. That was just something, like I said, they were real heroes. I said, we talk about heroes, and I just, one of them times, and it don't seem like that many years I've been here, but deep down, I've been an old blue devil for a long time. That's about it.
Hey, anyone else for roundtable?
I would like to say, I'm excited for spring and then summer. And I would really encourage anyone who wants to join us the weekend of the community cleanup, please come down. Please see what we're doing. This is all for you guys. But one other thing I'd like to say is, be careful answering your door. I was explaining to them earlier, I don't ever answer my door. If Mick's home, I send, he just goes, he knows. But be careful, because there are people out there who could use help, but, you know, they need to do it in the right way, and it's not by knocking on our doors. So, you know, it's already starting. Let's just make sure that we're careful. And if you want to donate to something like that, I would suggest donating to the sheriff's department or donating to one of the local churches, and, you know, start a fund for people in need. But just call Jack, you know, call the sheriff's department and let them take care of
I
it.
believe there is a fund that's kept in there, the churches put in.
It's from the Ministerial
Yeah, Ministerial
Association.
Association.
Use that today.
Yes.
The gentleman that knocked on our door today, he was very polite. He knocked on the door and then he went back out on the sidewalk and stood there until I came to the door. And then he asked about the church, and I was saying, Joyce, well, call downtown, and he just went right down.
But you just, you know, I appreciate that, Mick, but we just still need to just be careful. So, it's not that we don't want to help people, we just want to do it in the right way.
And always here, so like, Joyce, you did the right thing, is calling. We have Jack here, he was responsive, he was down here, he actually met him as he was walking, so, always call us to report that, because, there are a lot of people that are scared that, live by themselves, and any soliciting, that goes for soliciting too, is nobody should be knocking on your door. If they do, say you better go down to town hall and talk to Courtney, because they shouldn't be doing that either.
Like I always said in Block Watch, always be prepared.
Becky asked me to share something, real quick, I'm sorry, but there will be Michael Starr Memorial, Easter egg hunt at, looks like Mason Park at 2 o'clock on Saturday,
Yes,
April the 16th.
yes.
Yes. She'd like for me to, advise that.
Plenty of eggs, plenty of candy.
Did-
Is the Easter Bunny on the motorcycle?
No.
No, but they are coming around on Saturday too.
Okay.
I think Becky reported that last time. They're gonna start in Era at noon.
It
And then
is.
they'll be coming this way.
Something Michael put on last year when COVID and everything, they didn't do the Easter egg hunt at the community center. So he started it, and a lot of us that were friends got together and just did it anyways. Had an Easter egg hunt up at, Mason Park.
That's awesome.
Rob, did you have something else you wanted to?
No, I did
Okay.
not.
So I have just two things. One, you'll have a copy of the newsletter. If you hear of any events coming up, please let me know. I'll put it on for the next time we do that. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad.
Thank you for doing that. I
Yeah,
like it.
and so I get, being involved in the Madison County Chamber, I am the third vice president, and so my job is to find out what's going on in other municipalities around the county. So I do a newsletter with their information, but it's just short, and I put ours on top, and so they all know what we're doing here, but. And secondly, today I had the pleasure of meeting with Kathleen Young Riley, she's a liaison to the governor, and Susan Thompson from MRDD set us up to meet today to discuss the park grant. There's several pots of money that this capital grant has available to the senators, to the House of Representatives, and then to the governor. So he has discretion over some of those dollars too. We spoke with her, Dave Kell from the chamber, or CIC, was here today also to meet with her. She stayed for an hour and a half, and she was very inquisitive about our fiscal emergency. She talked about we talked about the water tower and bills there, and just things that we've done positively in the last few years. And she was very, very complimentary, and she's going to be taking a report back to the governor to see if he would be interested in helping us with some funds for the park grant. Not sure how soon we'll know anything, probably, I would say mid-May, maybe. But as soon as I hear something, I will let you know. But I just wanted to let you know that she was very flattering about the work that we've done here. And, yeah, I appreciated her visit. So that's what I wanted to share with you.
Good stuff.
So if there's nothing else, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay.